Mergers and acquisitions in the technology sector are heating up. Here to explain what's behind this hot M&A cycle and who the players are in this space is Andrew Nunes, a partner at Fasken. Thank you so much for joining us today, Andrew. I want to begin with what is driving the trend of tech M&A in today's market in Canada and around the world.
Right, so it's a great question, and we definitely are seeing a trend of increasing tech M&A. From a Canadian perspective, I think part of it is driven by the fact that we've got such a thriving tech ecosystem, which is supported by the government by way of favorable tax treatment for tech companies. We've got a great talent pool, great universities, a lot of educated and skilled personnel coming out to really fuel the industry, and also just the nature of the work that millennials now want to do. It tends to be innovative work, it tends to be disruptive work. They are creating things that create targets for other companies who are looking to themselves innovate in a very efficient way. And so we have a lot of technology targets that are available, a lot of companies looking. So part of it's a supply-demand thing, and away we go. People are looking to get in on the latest trends, whether it's IoT, whether it's artificial intelligence, robotics, and all of those technologies are available through a lot of innovative companies in Canada and throughout the world, quite frankly.
And so it's definitely a crowded marketplace right now. Can you talk about some of the players in this space?
Yeah, so the players are very interesting. So you have your traditional players, the strategic companies, other technology companies that are looking to augment their services, their products, fill gaps, holes, expand their product offerings, get more market share. But you also have a number of non-technology companies that are very interested in acquiring technology companies so that they can remain relevant, so that they can remain competitive going forward, and so that they can stay in the game. They don't want their lunch being eaten, which a lot of them are seeing right now. People like the big banks, for example, they see a lot of fintech happening in the industry. They don't want to be disrupted themselves, so they have to come up with a plan, a strategy. Sometimes that plan, that strategy is to acquire the disruptors and insource that and then make it part of their business. So we see a lot of that happening, some of the less traditional buyers, but also the strategics and the private equity firms.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the legal issues that should be top of mind for buyers and or sellers when engaging in tech M&A?
Yeah, so I mean, you really have to understand the tech that you're buying. An acquirer who goes in probably has a plan, an idea, a thought for how they're going to use this technology going forward, whether it's to integrate into their business, they're going to expand into new markets internationally, and not every technology is built to scale that way. And so there has to be a lot of focused diligence to ensure that you understand what you're getting, that it's going to work for you going forward, and that you have the legal protections in your agreement, so that if what you buy doesn't end up being what you thought you were buying, then you have recourse. And there's always some give and take there, but at the end of the day, the diligence and the contractual terms are important. And for some, you have to also look at things such as valuation, where the value is. There are some uniqueness to Canadian companies. A lot of the tech companies are driven by research and development credits that the government offers, and there's always a struggle around, well, who gets those? Do we understand if they're going to be available to a foreign buyer? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Uniqueness in the IP structure and regime in Canada. You want to make sure that you have all the rights that you're looking for when you're buying a technology company. So those are some of the key things, and as well as tax structuring, which are always going to be an issue, and making sure that you can lock up the key employees that are really driving the value behind the company.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.